Hey, if you're a network admin, you definitely need a reliable and quick monitoring tool to know your service status instantly and get those notifications right away. The good news is, with MikroTik's container package, you can easily set up Uptime Kuma, a super effective, simple, and free monitoring tool right on your MikroTik router. Uptime Kuma watches your services and by linking up with popular messaging and notification services like Telegram ensures you're immediately alerted the moment any downtime hits your network. I'm Ramtin, and in this video we're going to set up Uptime Kuma container on the MikroTik router. So if you're into MikroTik and container projects, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's dive in. So first of all, let's take a quick look at Uptime Kuma website, which is an open source, free, and easy to use self-hosted monitoring tool. And it is compatible with multiple platforms including Linux and Windows. There is also a Docker image available for Uptime Kuma, and we can easily run Uptime Kuma container on our MikroTik router. Uptime Kuma integrates easily with a lot of messaging and notification services, so it can notify us whenever something is down in our network. Okay, here you can see some screenshots from its dashboard, and we will take a look after we run it on our MikroTik. Here you can see I've installed MikroTik CHR on a cloud server. Here in System and then Resources, you can see the architecture is x86, and I've updated the RouterOS to the latest version. There is no difference between MikroTik server and router, so you can follow along and run Uptime Kuma container on your MikroTik router. But just a quick note, MikroTik container package is just available for these three CPU architectures: ARM, ARM64, and x86. So make sure your router CPU architectures is one of these. Here you can see I have x86, and I've already installed and activated the container package on this MikroTik. If you don't know how, just take a look at the previous video, which was about running Nginx container on MikroTik. Just take a look here and we will check the installation system and then packages. You can see container is available. Also, there is another item here. It is container, and I can check the activation with this command in the terminal. You can see system and then device mode and then print. It shows the container capability is already activated. So we can start, and we are starting with the networking configuration for the containers on this MikroTik. Here in bridge interface, I need to add a new bridge interface and name it bridge1 dash, for example, container. It's done, and let's add an IP address for this bridge interface. Here in IP and then addresses, let's add a private IP address. You can use any private IP address here. For this bridge1 interface, for example, I'm using 172.17.0.1/24, and it's done. The next step is to create a new virtual interface for the Uptime Kuma container. So here in Interfaces and in the VETH tab, let's create a new virtual interface. Let's name it VETH1-Uptime Kuma. And the IP address is, for example, 172.17.0.10/24, and the gateway is the IP address of the bridge interface, 172.17.0.1. Okay, now let's add this virtual interface to the bridge interface. Here in bridge, in the second tab, let's add and select VETH1, and the bridge is bridge1. Okay, and done. The last step of networking configuration is to create a new masquerade NAT rule so the containers can have internet access. Here in IP and then Firewall, in the second tab, I click on add, and the chain is source NAT, and the source address is 172.17.0.0. The network address of the containers network, the prefix is 24, and the outgoing interface is Ether1, which is my WAN interface, and the action is masquerade. The networking configuration is done. but we will get back here later. After running the container, we need another NAT rule. Okay, so let's go here to container menu. We need some basic configurations for the containers. So let's click on config, and for the registry URL, I'm using Docker registry, https registry-1.docker.io, which is completely free and you can use it too. And let's create a temporary directory for image layers, and it is done. Now we can start to create Uptime Kuma container. Here, let's take a look at the installation and documentation for Docker. Here you can see there is an example. Yes, you can see there is a Docker Compose example. You can find some useful information here. The image name is louislam/UptimeKuma, and the container is listening on port 3001. The data directory is /app/data inside the container, and we need to map a directory from our MikroTik file system to this specific directory inside the container. And also we can set environment variable for time zone. So let's start with this one. Here in Environments tab, let's create Uptime Kuma -envs, and the key is TZ, and the value is, for example, Asia/Tehran. You can use anything you want. Okay, it's done, and you can see it here. The next step is to create the mount. As I said before, this specific directory inside the container holds the data. Okay, so let's create a new mount and name it Uptime Kuma -data, and the source is the same name. It will automatically create it after running the container, and the destination is this specific directory inside the container. Okay, it's done, and you can see the mount here. And the last step is to create the container itself. Here in the first tab, let's create a new one, and let's name it Uptime Kuma. Okay, and the remote image name is here. I can copy it from here without any tag and paste it here. Let's check and the certificate on, and the interface will be VETH1, which we created in networking configurations, and the mount is Uptime Kuma data, and the environment variables is Uptime Kuma -envs, and I'll select logging and start on boot, and I'll click on apply. Now the image is pulling from Docker registry. You can see the details here. You can see the image layers are pulling from Docker registry, and after a few seconds you can see import is done. Now I can start the container. You can see here in containers table, this container is created, but the status is now stopped. Now let's start it, and you can see there is an error from the container. Let's check it here in the logs, and yes, it said there is a permission problem for this specific directory inside the container. It seems it isn't an important error. So let's create this container another time. I'll copy this container and remove the old one. And now let's click on apply once again and wait for the container image to be pulled. Okay, import is done, and let's start it once more. And now, as you can see, it is up and running. The logs from inside the container says it is up and listening on port 3001. And in this tab, you can see this flag says the container is running. So everything is fine. And now we can have access to this Uptime Kuma from our browser. But beforehand, we need another NAT rule, but this time a destination NAT. Here in IP and then firewall in NAT, I create a new NAT, and the chain this time will be destination NAT, and the incoming interface is Ether1, which is my WAN interface here. The protocol is TCP, and the destination port is 80. Now look at here, I've already changed the default HTTP port of this MikroTik here in IP, and then services, you can see the HTTP port here is 808. Okay, so let's go to action and action will be destination NAT, and the destination address is the IP address of the Uptime Kuma container, which is 172.17.0.10, and the port is 3001. Okay, it's done. Now let's copy this public IP address of this MikroTik and check it in our browser. Here you can see the container is loading, but there is some minor problem here. You can see the MikroTik webfig login. Let me here in services, let me see this. Yeah, there is an active connection between my system and this MikroTik. Here, let me kill these connections in IP and firewall and in connections tab. Let me kill all of the connections, and once more let me check if it is working or not. Let me create a new incognito tab and continue to site. This time I expect the Uptime Kuma to load. Yes, you can see from this title bar, this is Uptime Kuma, and now I can select language and username and password for the first time and log into this Uptime Kuma and start to configure it. But as you can see, the connection between my browser and Uptime Kuma is not secure. So the better idea is to create a record on my Cloudflare so I can access it via the Cloudflare proxy. So here, for example, I create a new A record for this domain. Let's name it uptime-test, and this is our domain. And let me paste the IP address here, and I leave the proxy status to on. So this is our domain, and let's click on save. This time I expect the connection to be secure between my browser and the Uptime Kuma. Here it seems the DNS is not created yet. Yes, it is now created, and let me refresh this request once more. Let me open it in another browser, so make sure there is no cache. Okay, it is now loading, and you can see connection is secure. Select your language and set your username and password here. Username is Ramtin for me, and let me create a complex password and confirm this password. And now I'm logged into the Uptime Kuma, and you can see the dashboard. You can see this bar at the left for the monitors you can create from here, and you can see the detail from each monitor on the right side, and you can create some status pages for this Uptime Kuma so people without logging in can see some monitors that, for example, there are some crucial monitors for your business. And here you can see the settings. There are a lot of things to be set. For example, the time zone, the appearance, which can be light and dark and auto. And you can set the heartbeat bar, which I prefer the bottom. And also we can set another things here. And one of the most important things here is the notification. You can connect your Uptime Kuma to any of these messengers and notification services. As you can see, there are a lot of choices here. You can see Discord, you can see Line, you can see Matrix. A lot of options are here, and you can use anything you want. I test Uptime Kuma in this video with Telegram, which is very easy to connect, integrate Uptime Kuma and Telegram. So let's name this notification Ramtin, and we need a bot token here. So here in my Telegram, I'll open bot fodder to create a new bot. Bot fodder here, and I click on start. Let me create a new bot. Here, new bot, and let's name it Ramtin and test 123 underline bot. And okay, now it asks for an ID, and it is done. And now I need this token here. Bot token is here. I'll paste it from the bot fodder. And now I need a chat ID, which should be here, so UptimeKuma can send notifications to a group chat. So let's create a group chat in my Telegram. Let me copy this bot ID and create a new group chat. Add this group to the chat, and let's name it, for example, Ramtin Monitor Test. Okay, it's done, and this chat has a chat ID from the browser. I can find it. There are some other ways to find your chat ID. You can search about it, and I'll copy this one and bring it here, and chat ID is here. Let's test it and make it default, and let's test it. I expect a notification in this new group. Here you can see UptimeKuma is sending this notification. So it is working, and let's save it, and it's done. So let's get back here and create a new monitor. You can see I can use any of these protocols and services. For example, HTTP, TCP, ping, DNS. You can nearly monitor everything with this UptimeKuma. But for this test, I'm using ping. Let's test ping to Google DNS server. Let's name it Google DNS, and the host name is 48. And let's select lower heartbeat for faster interval. I'll select 20 seconds, which is its minimum time, and the notification is the default one we just created. It's sending the notifications to the Telegram group we just created, and let's save. Now we can see every 20 seconds this UptimeKuma pings this IP address, and if it is up, it shows me everything is fine with green notifications and icons. And you can see the last one, it tries to ping 48. And this was the ping time. The average ping time is here. You can see in past 24 hours, this monitor has 100% uptime, and this uptime is for last 30 days. So it can show me a lot of information here, and I can clone this monitor to create another monitor, for example 4224, and let's name it level 3 DNS, and it's done. You can see I have two monitors here, and both of them are up. Now you can see 3 times it checks the connectivity with Google DNS via ICMP, and every time it was up. So let's virtualize the downtime. I know the Google DNS is always up, but let's virtualize the downtime. So check the notification on our Telegram. Here in my MikroTik firewall, let's create a new rule, IP, then firewall, and then the first tab. Let's create a new rule. The chain will be forward, and the destination address is Google DNS server, and the action is drop. Now, in the next interval, you can see it will be blocked by this firewall rule, and here you can see we expect a notification in our Telegram group. After a few seconds, you can see Google DNS is down, and there is some notification for other services if they are down too. Let's roll back and disable this rule. In the next interval, you can see there is another notification which is saying Google DNS is up and everything is working fine. Here in UptimeKuma, you can see in this interval the connectivity was not possible. But again, after disabling the rule, you can see it is now working. Now you can look around in the UptimeKuma configuration. There are some interesting things in this simple and useful monitoring service. So there you have it. Now that we've got UptimeKuma running perfectly on our MikroTik router, you can monitor virtually any device or service you need, whether it's a device inside your own network or an online service out on the internet. And the best part is, by connecting UptimeKuma to any of those messaging and notification services that you saw, like Telegram, you are guaranteed to get an instant notification the second any downtime occurs. This MikroTik container package is truly powerful and cool. If you want to see more cool container projects or other network tutorials, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if this video helped you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. I'm Ramtin, and I'll see you in the next one.